once more, let me say thank you. Thank you, Brother Minister Farrakhan. But I want you to know that we all have qualities and talents that make us stand out. Those are qualities or talents that show us in certain areas to be just above another brother. But there's always something the other brother has too that makes him stand out over another brother. So we have here in number 7 a great minister.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
We have, you don't have to tell me about him because I've been knowing him for a long time. See? So you could tell me something about him maybe, but I think I can tell you more about him than you can tell me. So I know him. He's great. He's a great man.
That's right.
He's a natural minister. Natural minister. He's a natural sportsman. He's a natural defender of the truth. He's a natural source of inspiration to our people. See, I know him. Don't think I don't know him. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't pick him because he saw nothing in him. He picked him because he saw something in him. And if he has put upon him the responsibility that he has, that speaks for his work. So I could go on talking about him, but like he just said, it's not necessary. It's not necessary. But I want to say something just before I leave. You see, we have the National Secretary over here. Now, wait a minute, let me tell you something about this. The National Secretary, he has been struggling. Don't think the job is easy. The job is hard. Now, I know that the minister here, he has a hard job too. Anytime you're working with people called Negroes and niggers, colored folks and blacks, I don't care what they're doing in the Nation of Islam. You have a job because we have to be made all over again. And it takes a long time to make us over. And sometimes we think we've been made over, we think we've been new and completed for a long time. And all of a sudden, some emotional trouble drop out of the ceiling on us, and we jump into the nigger image again. So, but, you see, but believe me, brother, 1975 have kicked the messenger into another gear. And we're gonna wipe niggers out completely. Brother, the National Secretary of our Bass Rasul. When I saw him, I saw something in him. The messenger had put him over in that position after replacing, after dismissing the old secretary, National Secretary. And when I saw him, I saw in him empathy for moving out ahead. Now, you see, the messenger is a wise man. We look for what we like in a brother. If we like a brother that talk a lot of jive talk, that's what we look for, you see. We like a brother that gives, we look for that. We like a brother that talks smooth, we look for that. See, we like a brother that talks a lot of wisdom, but leaves it all dark. When he goes away, it's still all dark. See, we like all kind of things in brothers, you see. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he is looking for a contribution to this great work. And when he picks an official, that's what he's picking him for. So when I saw the National Secretary, I saw this in him, that this man had in him energy for moving out ahead. He didn't talk to me. He never confided in me. Is that right, Brother Secretary? But I went straight to him. And I dropped something heavy on him. Because I saw that he was mad. that he was the one. I dropped it on him. He shook his head. I said, Brother Minister, anything I can do for you, let me know. He said, I'm going to do all I can to help you to get back with your father as you once were. So anything I can say, if I see any opportunity to help you get with your father, I'm going to do it. He hasn't failed. He lived up to what he told me. We have a great national secretary. I'm telling you. Has an assistant with him. I'm not going to give you his name. If you don't hear his name from the rostrum, then you won't hear it. But he has a great assistant. And he has a great assistant because he was a great magnetic attracting force. You see? And he just can attract inferiority. He attracts greatness. You see? Now, the minister here, Minister Farrakhan, I know what he has been and what he has meant to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad has not been able to go about the country preaching and waking up the people and inspiring his people. But thanks be to the Almighty God, he's blessed with Minister Farrakhan. Now, I've heard a lot of talk. Say, well, Wallace is not an administration man. Wallace is not this, he's not that. Wallace, he doesn't like to see people with too much material comfort. He'll do this and he'll do that. Foolish talk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wasting time.
Yes, sir.
Just holding themselves up. Why prejudge a man and say what he will do if he had authority before he gets authority?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right.
You see? You don't know what he'll do. If he's wise enough to take that kind of, now that's something else, brother, what they're talking about. They're talking about me coming into the Army Elijah Muhammad's position. Yeah. If they're talking about that, that's a lot of responsibility. And any man who is fit to take on that kind of responsibility has the wisdom to make the same wise choices that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad made. And to wisely administrate or rule over the nation as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad did. If he wasn't qualified, he would never come into that position. Now some of you will say, well, nobody will ever get that position. Brother, don't be foolish. Nobody will live forever. I'm not going to live forever. I might be dead tonight. None of us are guaranteed that we'll live forever.
That's right.
Nobody lives forever. Master W.D. Farrar, the God who revealed himself in person to Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he will die one day. He will physically go to the grave. This material flesh and blood is earth. It goes back to earth. But we live on. We just got through teaching on the divine tree. I'm not talking to all of you. I'm talking to a few brothers here. We just got through teaching on the divine tree and how that divine tree comes into being and how it survives and lives eternally. But the physical body goes back to where it came from. If you stop eating, it starts getting lighter. If you keep on fasting, it'll get lighter and lighter. It'll become skin and bone. And pretty soon they'll have you in the ground. See? Yeah. After so long, they'll put you in the ground, and you'll be nothing but skin and bone. There won't be much for the grave to do. You would have done a lot of it already by fasting too long. So the grave will only have to work on just skin and bone, not a lot of fat stuff, you see. All right, so we know this physical body is not going to stay around here forever. But let me tell you something. The divine will is strong, and it has support from everything in the creation. Believe it or not, and I'm not spooking you up, this is not spooky. Just as everything physically is connected and related throughout the whole universe, this life with us is also connected and related to everything throughout the universe. And if we are in the divine nature and in harmony with the divine will, we just don't die until the time comes. We are not killed until the time comes. If the Honorable Elijah Muhammad dies, it'll be the right time. If I die, it'll be the right time. And if I live, you're going to see the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You're not going to see anybody different than the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You're going to see the Honorable Elijah Muhammad spokesman in his job, doing his job, for as long as he satisfies the requirement of the demand put upon him by the mind of Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But if he falls short or falls victim, nobody's indispensable. If the Honorable Elijah Muhammad finds him fallen victim and being unfit to continue, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad will dismiss him. And I don't care if 1,000 or 1 million or 2 million people rise up in New York and say, "You're wrong, Mr. Elijah Muhammad." He will still dismiss him. And the 2 million people will just have to get used to the idea that he has been dismissed. Now I said that to say this. I know what's on your mind, a lot of it. If the responsibility falls upon me, then it's going to fall upon me. It's going to fall upon me. Not because he said it, not because I'm saying it, but because that's how it has been created. That's how it has been made. The responsibility is going to fall upon me one of these days. And when it does, the brother will have his position for as long as he lives up to the requirements and the demands. But if he falls victim, I will sit him down, and nothing will change my order, nothing at all. It'll be just like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's order. In fact, it'll be his order. So I'm just telling you this. The secretary is looking at me now. He said, "Well, he's stepping out there. He never said that before." But it's time for us to know the truth. See, it's bad just to go on wondering what will happen. Don't wonder anymore. Hold your seats a minute.